Boy. What's going on, everybody? This is our first ever spoiler cast of God of War. Yes. So just to start off, we're going to be going over, in the beginning, it's going to be spoiler free. It's going to be tips and tricks and kind of what we used, armor sets, runic abilities, stuff like that. And then afterwards, we're going to be going into major spoilers. So we'll definitely make that clear to begin with. But to start off, once again, very spoiler free.
Let's get it on.
How did everybody like it?
I loved it.
Was this probably like, as far as I know, you're a PC guy, so your opinion's kind of very relevant in this end. Have you played a PlayStation exclusive game that you've liked more than this one?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite PlayStation games by far.
As far as graphics too, I know it's not,
Yeah, the graphics are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're definitely amazing graphics. Not like the best, but they're pretty good.
Yeah. Bud, how do you like it?
I loved it.
Same question for you. Is this the best PlayStation exclusive that you've played? We'll say for PS4 too.
I don't know if I can confidently say that. It was a really good game though.
Yeah.
So what game would you say is the best? Or your favorite?
I have a lot.
Only because I'm curious if I've played it yet or haven't played it yet or what.
I mean, there's only really, to be honest. Well, I mean, are you saying Bloodborne or are you saying Horizon?
Horizon, then Bloodborne.
Yeah.
See, those are two games I've yet to play.
Horizon is the one, to me, was the top. I mean, I never got to play. I played Bloodborne, but I can't say I played Bloodborne. But Horizon is definitely the one to beat, and to me, it did beat it.
Yeah.
But and it's like, that's saying something for me because I thought Horizon was just so epic. So as far as for you guys, like how many hours do you think roughly it took you guys to beat it? Just did you guys mainline it or did you do story content like side quests and stuff? For me, I did, when I was playing the game, I tried really hard not to do side quests. Like I really wanted to do the story, but I kept on getting pulled away for side quests. And I did a lot of, I didn't do a lot of side quests. I would do like a few and I'm like, all right, I gotta fucking go on this boat and get out of here. But I did all of Sindri's and Brock's. I did all of their side quests before I beat the game.
Same.
Yeah, same here.
But Justin, you told me you did a lot. You did a lot of side quests beforehand.
Yeah, I did a good amount of side quests.
Because you did the mist armor before you did the ending, which is fucking crazy. I don't even know how you did that.
I wanted to be prepared for the ending, so I went and got the mist.
When you do that, like I know, Bud, you haven't done it yet. It's hard. It's not easy to do.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
You got it? Nice.
Dude, that shit is hard.
Totally worth it.
Did you do all the realm tears?
Wait, what is that? I probably did. I just don't remember.
So in the middle of this guy's world, there's realm tears. I did all of those, but the fact that you were able to get the mist armor without touching them is pretty crazy. So
oh, come on, bro.
Perfect. So what armor did you guys end up beating the game with? Do you remember? I know you did mist. Dude, what did you do?
Brock's armor.
I did the same thing. He was I was so happy when I got his armor because his armor was so good, and actually I wanted him to have like a huge like just metal plate and shit. Yeah. But the one that was like more towards like my abilities, I wanted like strength and stuff like that.
Stat wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used Brock's armor all the way up until right before. No spoilers, right?
No spoilers in this part. Yeah.
Right before the last part of the game.
Okay. So yeah, I recommend that would definitely be one of the tips. Like definitely go through Sindri's and Brock's storylines because there's a lot of great story in that, and it's also like they'll give you good armor and they'll help you do the end game content pretty easily.
Definitely worth it.
As far as you guys' like runic abilities, which ones did you use? I did Nord's Tempest, which that's the one that you hold down the axe and it does like a spiral motion. And it creates like you're like spinning around in a circle. The longer you hold it, the more damage it puts out. It's a really good like kind of way to clear people out.
Whirlwind, where he like spins with the axe.
Yes. Yeah. And then I did Vivaldi's Anvil, which is the one that he takes the axe and it's like facing down and he slams it on the ground and it creates like a blast radius around it. That was another good one too to kind of free up people. Those are two really good ones. There's another one that I used. I didn't write down. I know you have to buy it, but it's basically like an axe. You basically hit the ground and you like just like lumberjack slam the axe like multiple times.
Dude,
that shit does put a like if you're fighting
you do it like 5 times, right?
Yeah, if you're fighting Valkyries, like not to jump too much in the tip section, but when you're fighting Valkyries, the best tip I could give anyone listening is don't bother. Just don't fight them yet. Wait towards end game. Go back and start fucking them up. Like you don't need to do that yet. But when you first run up on these Valkyries, you can get a lot of damage out of them in the very,
definitely.
very beginning. So what I used to do is
You can hit him with like 4 attacks.
yeah,
Right?
but you can, if there's a talisman that you can freeze time. So what I would do is I would hit them with one of them.
Talisman?
Yeah,
To slow down.
I would hit them first.
Shit's OP.
Do the freezing of the time, and then I would just fucking beat the shit out of them, and you would get so much damage out before the battle even started. And
Exactly.
that man.
Yeah, I feel like you have to do that.
If you're not using that, like, because I didn't do it in the beginning, I would like wait until they open up their wings and like kind of keep back, throw the axe and shit like that. I definitely wasn't doing that in the beginning, and I wasted so much time in the beginning fighting Valkyries, and I wish I never did that.
I didn't use, I don't know why, but like the combos I do, I don't use a lot of the talisman moves. I don't know why.
See, my thing was, and
I use a lot of my runic attacks, but I don't know. I just don't throw it into my mix.
I usually use it for health.
Using it for the last Valkyrie I fought. I didn't do them all yet, but the last one I did fight, I did use it. But all the other fights, I didn't really use the talisman, like the L1 circle. It just wasn't in my finger combinations.
I didn't use them to the abilities. Like, I only used the healing one for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was kind of something that they maybe should have explored a little bit more.
And the shield one, like if you get critical health and then you get that barrier and you upgrade that one, like
I just never really. Did you use any of the talent? Like, which talisman did you really use?
Yeah. I use Agir's protection. Is it Agir's?
Yeah.
Agir's?
Yeah, Ager.
I use that one. That one was definitely worth it to just throw down real quick L1 circle right before a fight.
What was the ability for that one?
Slow down?
No, this wasn't to slow down. I used that one for like half the game. But once I got my hands on the Gears protection one, it was a lot better. It makes it basically so you can't be interrupted during combat.
Yeah, that helps too.
Okay.
It makes it a lot better. Like, people can't just interrupt you. Like, if someone shoots you or something, like, you could continue with your fighting and your moves and stuff.
And that's automatic, or do you have to press it to activate
Well,
it?
when it's activated. So you'll activate it. You gotta hit L1 circle.
See, the talismans that don't need activation, that's
And
what
you
I
take less
strive
damage.
for. It was just too much, and like my combo moves and everything that I was going for, it didn't, I don't know. That's why you could play different ways.
Yeah, with the talismans, definitely, because I only used it for health, and most of the time, if I was kicking ass, I just never used it. So a lot of times, I didn't really use them. But when you're fighting the end game content, you have to use everything in your disposal.
Yeah, like, my favorite talisman is definitely by far the golden talisman of protection or whatever it is. The one that gives you like a wider window to parry is my favorite one, because it just makes it so easy to just dominate everyone. Like, as soon as they go to hit you, you got like a very small slowdown and you could just quickly parry them.
As far as Atreus' abilities, which one did you use as his, like, the one that you hold down square for, like the summoning? Did you guys ever switch it? Because I got to be 100% honest with you. I did the wolves.
The wolves are kind of cool. I didn't switch it until the end.
I never switched it. I still have yet to switch it. Did you switch it?
I did switch it as soon as I got I'm trying to remember what the name was, but it's something to do with crows. And
that's the
and
one
then
I
you
did.
just fucking slam down. Those things
I
are cool.
upgraded that to the max, dude. And I think it's like 9 different crows just attack all your foes at once, dude. It's pretty badass.
Attack.
Yeah,
It's the murder of crows.
That's it.
That's the one I use.
Yeah, I couldn't get over the wolves. I just thought they were so fucking cool.
The wolves are dope though. I literally didn't change it until the end. I kept the wolves. I didn't use anything else until I got the crows, because they're both, to me, those were the only 2 type of damage ones.
I like them because
exactly.
I didn't like the runic ones, and
I was either gonna use the wolves or the crows,
or the stun
and I went
ones.
with the crows just because of the high damage.
Yeah,
I like that they kind of distracted the enemies too.
Yeah,
so I could drop those abilities and then just fight one guy in particular, and the other guys are so distracted by everything going on that you could kind of focus a lot. But from everybody I talked to, people didn't really explore the other ones. Everyone either picked the crows or the wolves. Like, it's like,
when I talked to Riley, he said he switched to the boars just for their stun.
Yeah,
I didn't really go for the high stun or the high runic.
Not a lot of exploration for there. Some people usually like those 2 are usually the go-tos.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any. So like, if there was any type of tips and tricks I would try to use. If you're not using Atreus, you're fucking up. Like, you have to upgrade Atreus. He's so valuable. Even if the fact that he
Which
can't
way did you play as him?
I had him throwing a shield or throwing health on me.
Throwing health?
Yeah.
I used the choke. I pretty much just went for damage. Like, if he's holding somebody,
that shit is helpful.
Hit,
I don't think there's a bad for him. I don't like the other abilities. I think there's definitely better ones, but for him, I think any of the 3 you pick, you'd have been all right with. But he was very, very helpful, and I know a lot of people.
He turns OP at the end of the game.
Yeah, by the end, he's fucking people up.
Beginning of the game, I was not.
I used him from the beginning. I was definitely like fucking with him.
I don't know.
But you do get towards the end, and he is like a fucking monster. He's kicking people's asses. I wasn't even using.
I don't even have to swing, and he could take someone down.
Like in the beginning, I was kind of just really using Atreus as kind of like a crutch during combat. Like if I start slacking and getting hit, then I would spam square. It's like, okay, I need him now. So I was using him kind of like leaning on him like that a little bit in the beginning. But at the end, I was definitely using him a lot more.
See, the way they introduced him, there was like, he can distract enemies. I never used him as that.
Oh, I did.
That's what I didn't.
I just used him to distract. Like, I would always try to focus on someone and use him to hit the other person. So that would be my like freeze him, stun him. I'm gonna go fuck this guy up. Keep him distracted so I can put in a lot of DP.
Not to mention you kind of like have to use them if you're trying to kill Valkyries, because
not even the Valkyries, those witch ones, you have to use them. You can't even fight those guys.
Because like right when they're about to fly up in the air, it's like kind of have to just spam them with arrows.
That's how they incorporate. Like they make you use him.
You have to.
As long as they make you use him like that, then you'll learn to use him more often.
So another tip when I was playing the game, I felt very like weird. I usually play the game and like I do everything and then beat the story. This is one of those games that you definitely don't have to do that. You can play the main story, do a little bit of side quest, and beat the game, and you'll have just so much stuff. And then also when you beat the game, make sure you go back to your home. That's all I'm gonna go back home. That's all I'm gonna say on that. We'll definitely touch on it later on.
Ever since I don't know, that sort of got hyped out for me.
Well, it got hyped out, but imagine, let me tell you what could have happened.
I can understand. He clearly says we can go back home.
Exactly.
And the genius behind that is there's no marker.
Yeah.
So you could spend
the rest of the just finishing platinum
and then go home.
Or
you can miss it. You can miss it entirely. But the thing about me was when I was playing the game, I went home and I didn't realize that. So that whole thing was a surprise for me. Like I went home and we'll get to it in a spoiler, but make sure you guys go home because you think you'll run the credits when you beat the game. You did not beat the fucking game. Any other tips you guys can think of to that you should be doing? I do recommend playing on hard for enemies that you're having a hard time with, because it really gets you to like understand the way the character, like the way the enemies are, like especially for Valkyries. Like you increase your difficulty, go to the hardest difficulty. You'll 2 or 3 times you're like, all right, I got this shit. And then when you drop it down, you have so much more opportunities to get hit. You'll beat the shit out of them quick. Like it's definitely a good dynamic to do that. You can switch difficulties in the game without any penalties towards trophies. There is no trophy that is linked to a difficulty, which is very different from every other God of War. And then the other thing is, never, ever, ever look at the trophy list before you play this game. Play the game, beat the game. Once you've beaten the game, then look at the trophy list. There's so many fucking spoilers in the trophy list. It is unbelievable. I'm so glad, because I usually do look at the trophy list. I'm like, lately I haven't been doing that, and this is just like firm believer why I don't do that.
Honestly, I haven't even looked at the trophies yet.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, beat the game. Like do everything that game has to offer, and that's the trophies really. And it's a good platinum too. It doesn't seem like an unrealistic platinum. I'm on the road for my platinum now, and it's not crazy. It's just they want you to explore that game and do everything it has to offer. That's really it. Any tips and tricks you guys can think of before we get into the spoiler territory?
Not really. Just, get good at the game.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's my tip.
Yeah, so like just to end it off, as far as people just looking to buy this game is a very complete game, and I can't say that enough. Like this game it doesn't feel like anything was left on the table. It doesn't feel like they wanted to, like there's stuff obviously that leads to sequels and stuff like that, but this is a very, very complete game. And then also, I played this whole game, I had no crashes, like not like bad, like game breaking, went through the map, anything like that.
Yeah, I haven't had any problem.
That does not happen in a lot of games.
Yeah, no bugs.
Play Xbox and play fucking State of Decay and see how many fucking bugs you get there. You know what I mean? Like it's unbelievable. Like games don't do that, and it's refreshing to see that. So I think that's gonna end our spoiler-free discussion. Probably the best PlayStation game to get right now. Definitely pick it up if you're interested in it. This is the game to play. All right, so spoiler. Last warning. Enough time? All right, good.
Boogie on down.
Loki? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? When you saw that, your mouth didn't hit the floor. I fucking immediately.
I knew it was coming.
Did you really?
When they said it, I was like, wow. I predicted this basically 2 weeks ago.
You're lying, really or not?
That's serious.
So
no, I had no idea. No, it freaked me out. I was going crazy.
Bro, I sat there. He was like, "Hey, he got my name wrong. They keep on calling me Loki." I was just like, "Oh, so this is funny." So remember, to sidebar. So remember I was telling you about like Krista and I almost killed her. So let me explain to you what she was doing at the time that this happened. So when you're walking up the mountain, and you get to the top,
Jotunheim,
and you realize that the whole thing has been foretold by his mother,
Bro,
like all the things.
That shit is crazy.
I'm literally watching this, and my mind is fucking blowing, and my girl is non-stop making noise, like fucking playing with the baby, and I'm like, Kristen. And you know how like you're always fearful, and God of War doesn't do this, thankfully, and every game should never do this, but if you press pause, you should be able just to press pause, not skip the fucking cutscene. But I have just an inherent fear of doing that, even though I know for a fact God of War does not do that, but I'm always afraid you're gonna hit start and it's gonna fucking skip the cutscene and you're gonna be so pissed. So she's just like non-stop talking, and shit that pissed me off.
That was such
like,
an intense moment.
Exactly.
Bro.
And I'm like, beforehand, I'm like, Chris, you want to see me beat the game? Because she saw me fight was it Boulder?
Mm-hmm.
She saw that whole fight scene. She was like, that's fucking crazy. She saw all the way up until us going to the world serpent and then that going into his mouth. She saw from that until the ending.
Did you like that fight? How good was that fight?
It was fucking awesome. I'll get to that in a second.
Insane.
So she's non-stop talking during that, but I literally had to be like, Kristen, can you leave? Like seriously, just leave. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Like you have no fucking idea what's happening right now.
I was kind of actually in the same predicament.
Yeah, it was not good. I was so fucking pissed. But so I had a big beef with this game. Not I guess a big beef is a strong word, but I hate when games do like the markers for where you're supposed to go, because it's so bullshit. It's such like a video game mechanic thing. Like this ledge is shiny, climb on here, or like they do like markers so the player knows where to go. But I hate when that happens.
Yeah,
but then when I found out that it was the mother,
she's a prophet,
that she predetermined their journey, and those were her markings to show you where to fucking go.
It was her handprint.
Yes,
on the freaking thing,
bro.
That's crazy. When I noticed that, my hair stood up. I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, dude.
First of all, let me just ask a question. How are they all like? Kratos was the dad that wasn't there. He says it throughout the whole game. Mm-hmm. When the hell did she have time to do all this?
I mean, she must have had a lot of time when he wasn't around.
Like before he was born? Like this was when...
I don't know.
Is this a life journey?
No, it was before he was born.
Oh, was it really?
That's what I think, because I seen a video and the guy was explaining it. You know what? Just scratch it, because it might not be true. But I'm pretty sure.
But honestly, though, even if... I don't know if it's true or not, but that could definitely be true.
And I think she was like always wanted to name him... Loki, yeah.
And it was so funny, because she gave it to Kratos. Like, yeah,
exactly.
You could do this story.
He said no.
And then she was like, I mean, I'm still going to tell everybody that he's Loki. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So that whole ending was fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
the fact that you're going up the mountain and you see that whole scene happen where they're like, yeah, everything was predetermined. Now, did you guys see going towards the end that one panel that were like the cloth was like kind of over it?
Yes.
So that shit is blowing my mind. That shit is blowing my mind.
What they had on the wall, it seemed like it showed all like basically the past. I think the past, and then it showed like everything that happened like present, and then where it was flapping on the right hand side, that little I guess painting on the wall. That is I guess the future.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, what did you get from that? Like, what do you think that's about?
I have
you
a theory,
studied
but
it,
it's
right?
very
I paused it, took a screenshot, and I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. So it looked like there was like some type of like snake or something coming out of.
Yeah.
So in Norse mythology,
Norse, is it Norse?
It's Norse mythology. Yeah. Loki gives birth to like children, but they're animals.
Mm-hmm.
So they say the world serpent is his son.
Loki's son.
Oh, shit.
So to me, it looked like he was putting the world serpent
into Kratos.
Obviously, Kratos looks like he got hurt of some sort. And then they also said later on that in Ragnarok, because as you play, because like when you beat the game and you continue playing, you get constant story updates. The story doesn't end just because they get the credits roll. There's definitely
what's his name? What's the head's name?
Mimir.
Yeah, Mimir. He gives so much more lore.
Absolutely.
After the
game.
Then
I've been going back to like the other parts of the world. He's giving so much lore all nonstop. Yeah. He's fucking great.
Also, I don't fast travel a lot, and I just started fast traveling. Yeah. He also gives different lore in the realm between realms.
Absolutely. He gives a lot of lore in between those.
Oh, yeah.
If definitely. You don't like use your boat a lot, like I didn't realize that either.
So he says something on the lines of like the world serpent got hit back into time. Something on those lines. He's back in time from Ragnarok. I guess Thor hits him back in time or some shit like that happens.
Well, he was one of the few to like survive Ragnarok.
Yeah, and he got pushed back through time. So
This
is
is how it's
Kratos
possible.
like? Is Kratos like? I don't fucking know. Like I'm like in
It's
my
either
mind, I'm
that-
like I don't. Is he like the world serpent?
And there's
like,
supposed to be another, because if you remember all like the paintings on the wall and shit with the wolves, he's supposed to have another kid, and it's supposed to be a fucking giant wolf.
yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
like,
Like
if you listen to him, like there was one where like there was two wolves and they were like eating the sun and the moon.
They do that all the time too. That the wolves, they definitely like the runic ability,
Yeah.
the summon ability. They have in that one chamber when you went into that guy's workshop or whatever. They had that one thing. Remember the wolves? Like you had to move them to each side.
Dude,
and when you got captured.
there's a cutscene that I remember where Atreus he just found out that he was like part god or whatever, and he was like, so can I turn into a wolf?
Yeah, and that was
Holy
when I was
shit!
when
I
was
did not even think of
yeah,
that. That's
but
crazy.
dude, so I was watching
Did he
interviews.
say wolf or did he
Yes,
say
the
Yeah, he
first-
said wolf.
he was when I was watching Spoilercast with Corey Barrog.
Yeah.
He was talking about that he was giving hints out and no one was catching him. Wow. And that was one of the hints because I was the first fucking animal that he called out,
Holy
and I'm just
shit.
like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
That's crazy.
So the ending, and then like that story that Kratos tells was like so fucking good about
Atreus.
how the guy inspired him and like
Yeah,
how he's
dude.
hold on to that in his deepest moments. Like
So, why'd you want to name me Atreus? I know it can't be for a god.
He was a soldier, a Spartan.
A great warrior?
All Spartans are great warriors.
all that stuff. I'm like,
Boy,
and then his son to like.
Wow, you actually told a good story.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly,
literally
dude.
sitting there like I fucking
Hell
love
yeah,
this
dude.
game
Yo,
so
I had
much.
goosebumps
So
for real.
ending amazing. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think they're gonna do DLC?
I don't know.
I would really hope they do, honestly. Like there's no online system, so why wouldn't you?
I mean, when you listen to him talk,
Even if it's not story DLC, I still think they're gonna do something. They're
I
gonna
think
add
they
something.
will, but with him, he just doesn't seem like he wants to do that shit at all. Like he just created a game. This is the game.
That would make sense to just make the game, and then obviously the story's gonna continue,
Oh yeah, and
then it's just less time and effort into something besides a new game.
with them, it's so easy because there's worlds that you can't even go to. So it's
That's true.
it's very easy for them to add another world and make it a DLC, and people would be
Yeah.
excited because there's Asgard, which
Asgard, yeah.
who would have thought that you would go this whole fucking game
Without
you
going to
wouldn't.
Asgard.
Well, you technically see Thor at the end.
Yeah.
Technically,
Well,
you don't see
wouldn't be able to
Odin.
just go there.
Or are you kidding me? You really
If you
thought you
just
weren't
go-
going to see Odin or Thor in the whole fucking game?
I thought I was gonna see them.
I thought
but
he was
if-
about to go to Asgard and bring the fucking hammer.
I mean,
You think he was going to Asgard? Really? I thought the whole game. I'm like, yo, I cannot wait till he fights Thor. Cannot wait. He doesn't even fight him.
But this like he's not gonna go there. He never really pursued anything but his objective.
I didn't think that it was going to be like he wanted to go there. I just thought that as the story was progressing, they were going to say, the only way we can find this X is go to Asgard. I just thought that was going to happen. And the fact that we never went there, especially when I saw it on the world map, I'm like, oh, bro, we're totally going there. And they never go there. And they never go to the Dwarfs Kingdom. You never go there. So there's a couple things that I was pretty surprised about. How did you like the end fight with Boulder? Shit, once again, fucking perfect.
Dude, I
Like,
took
the-
so many screenshots fighting him because it was just amazing, just so epic.
I love that Freya didn't really attack you during the whole fight. Like she's literally blocking shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so fucking genius. Like
So
they're
were
just,
you expecting Kratos to pick Boulder over Freya?
I thought Kratos honestly was gonna let Boulder kill her.
So did I.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna, because it's not his business. He don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about that. But
I didn't think he'd interfere.
I think he interfered though because she saved his life or saved Atreus' life.
Yeah.
I felt like
And
he owed.
Atreus
I felt like he
kinda,
owed her.
calls him kind of. He's like, isn't he like dad or something? Right before Atreus
He might have said that. Yeah.
He like calls out
I
something.
don't think that would have affected Kratos, but I do think that Kratos is a loyal person and felt like he owed her one because he saved Atreus, saved his life.
But he said he'd do the same thing. Like he said she's a parent, she'd give up her life to save her kid. That's what she was doing.
But that's why I think that he would have let her die if she didn't save Atreus. Because to me, two things would have happened. A, it's not his business. So he wouldn't feel a need to get into it. And then B, what you just said, he could totally understand the rationality behind it. He's going to let her do her thing. But the fact that she saved Atreus, he felt like he had to save her life. He owed that debt.
Yeah, but that's like I can see you owing her something, but then at the same time, you're making an enemy. How much of an enemy is she? I don't know, but she seems pretty serious.
Yeah, dude, that fucking line where she's like,
I will rain down every agony, every violation imaginable upon you. I will parade your cold body from every corner of every realm and feed your soul to the vilest filth in hell. That is my promise.
that was the most intense shit. I want to see
She
that.
was stabbing verbal knives into his spine.
Yeah, like it gave me goosebumps when she was saying that. I'm like, yo, she is not fucking playing. Like, she's gonna murder everything. And it's funny too, because when you go back in the world, like, you'll be underneath her like turtle or whatever, and he's just like, I wouldn't go in there. Like, I wouldn't. So that end fight was great. I just loved like everything about that. And he was just like, the kid was just like, he couldn't understand, like, why would you let him kill you? And he's just like, I would gladly give my life for you. Like, it's just like Kratos doesn't really show, not that he doesn't show love, but he just doesn't know how to do it the right way. And in that moment, it was like, yeah, dude, I'd fucking totally lose my life for you. Even like, so like, as far as the story goes, like, this story is pretty fucking perfect. Like, I mean, from start to finish, all I want to do is
Debbie
watch it.
Downer.
Go ahead. You didn't think it was that great?
I liked it.
Yeah.
The last fight scene I did, I don't think it was the best one.
The best fight? I think the first fight was kind of the best one, to be honest with you. Yeah. I only like the fact, I actually like Freya. I think the fact of Freya being involved in it, but not physically like her motives were very clear in the fight. Because I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to fight her too. You didn't have to do that. Yeah. I agree with you. I think personally, my favorite fight was the very beginning fight where he fights him, because you don't. Like, you're just like, holy shit. You don't
Is
know
there a big fight coming up after you beat the game?
That's what,
because I didn't get there yet,
me up,
but I know Freya.
I thought something was
Freya
happening.
is like the true like Valkyrie queen or something.
Whoa, spoiler. Just kidding. It's a Spoilercast. Yeah, well, he kind of, I don't know if you ruined that for you, but like, yeah, she's the queen of the Valkyrie.
I didn't get there yet, though.
He was talking about her, too.
Yeah.
So she's the reason that they're all there?
I have no idea. I haven't done it yet either. We'll definitely update that later on.
I can't wait. What if that's the greatest fight, though? I can't wait to try it. I
will say, to give it if we're going to get into the little Debbie Downer thing, I can definitely get into that. I thought the variety of enemies was a little cheesy. Like, how many guys do they bring in with the big stone?
The trolls.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they just recolored them and brought them in. Mm-hmm. I don't want to call them gorillas, but like the ogre things, just change the colors, bring them in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I felt like those were a little.
That is very God of War, though.
Yeah,
you
but honestly, like, why do that?
There's a different ogre, and you hop on top of them and do, like, they could have had more action sequences, but they still stuck to it like God of War. Like, every time you kill an ogre and have to grab him, he's gonna do the same fucking.
That was mad. I thought that was like the weakest part of one of the weakest parts of the game, where they just kept on like.
I mean, not that it isn't awesome watching him fucking.
No, but after 12 times
between his mouth, but yeah.
Yeah, it definitely by the end of the game, I'm like, when I remember one of them coming up and it was two of them, I'm like, oh fuck me, man. Yeah. Like, I'm so tired of fighting these guys. So that part was a little bit weak for me. I felt the abilities were, the skill tree definitely could have used some work. A lot of the combos and a lot of the abilities, like I used like probably like 3 or 4.
The runics?
No, not necessarily the runics, but like the actual skills and like the skill tree.
Combos and they
were okay. I thought they were, some of them were kind of left. You know, like I didn't really think that they were all that spectacular. I really wish they would have spent more time. It felt like I literally at one point went, I'm just gonna buy everything because I have so much and I don't even need it. And then like I still didn't use all of them.
Except with the Blades of Chaos, which are totally awesome. I didn't upgrade them enough to unlock the last like 6 or 7 skills for the skill tree for Blades of Chaos. Did you unlock all those?
I just got the last thing for the Blades of Chaos. So you have to beat the last Valkyrie in the other world, and then once you beat that, then
you beat all the Valkyries?
No, not all the Valkyries. You have to you basically in the it's like hell kind of.
Helheim?
Like, no, it's not Helheim, but it's like hell. It's like volcanoes. It's like crazy shit. And you go up
the fire realm.
Yeah, and I forget, it's like Methelheim or some shit like that.
Oh, Muspelheim.
That's what it is. So you go up there and there's like a sword embedded in the middle of the stage, and it's challenges, and you keep on going like up the mountain. Yeah, they get fucking hard. You have to fight like 100. You have to do like 100 enemies. You have to do like
That's how you get the 1,000 enemy trophy.
25.
Survive for 5 minutes.
Survive
all
for
the challenges.
Don't
like
get
that.
touched and defeat like a yo. You want to talk about you're using Atreus? You're using Atreus. Not dude. They're throwing fucking. They're using those guys with the huge swords. You know how fucking hard it is not to be touched by that guy.
Travelers.
Huge, great ass swords.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, bro. Like that shit was hard. So then once you do a bunch of them, you fight the Valkyrie at the end, and then once you beat the Valkyrie, you get the thing to do
That's what I didn't like. I didn't do the mist armor. I didn't go.
So you're still rocking Brock's armor.
I am.
Damn, bro. Did you try any Valkyries?
I did. I'm trying. That's
Did you
what
beat
I'm
any
trying.
with Brock's armor? Because I would give it to you that's pretty good.
Yeah, they're hard. They're definitely.
I beat most of them with it.
That's what I was telling you. You should definitely do.
I'm just exploring right now. I've just been getting mad chests and doing mad shit, but like I haven't went to the fireplace or the other place.
Yeah,
I've been killing back or
Niflheim.
trying to.
You should definitely try it. I would do the mist armor first, because once you get that, because I went up to the fire realm, got to the Valkyrie, got my ass kicked, left, got the mist armor, came back and beat the living shit out of him. So I would definitely do it.
Yeah, I didn't get any of the fire armor with all that you use embers to craft. But did you get that?
I didn't. By the time I did all his armor, the armor was weaker than one I had, so it didn't really look. It looks fucking awesome.
Which
though.
mist armor did you go with? Do you
Endless
remember?
Mist, I think it was called. That's the one that they give you like the little bit of health regen.
Yeah, dude, that's the same one I went with. That thing is, dude, it's OP.
definitely helpful.
A lot of strength, a lot of defense, and you got that small health regen.
Yeah,
which it stacks.
It's very slow.
It
stacks
stacks
5
up
times.
to 5 times, like for if you have all the pieces of the set. Definitely a good armor.
So I know you got yours ruined a little bit as far you mentioned Blaze of Chaos. I know you got that ruined for you, bud. That whole scene, so fucking good. Like the amount of weight that he's like walking mad slow, and he has the boat and he goes in and what's her name? Athena comes out. And Athena's like, you're a monster. And he's like, I know. He's like, fuck you, bitch. And then he gets the fucking, like, he has the blades. I was literally like, oh my God. And I don't know why. It's so stupid. Because in retrospect, like, do we really think Blades of Chaos weren't going to be in this game?
I honestly.
But like, when I played it, I never thought that was going to happen until he said, your weapon won't do anything against them. And the minute they said that, I'm like,
this is it.
Oh shit! Oh, I remember I was playing it and I was like, I only have like a little bit of time to play before I have to go to bed get up for work in the morning, and it happened like right at the end, like it was like 10:30, and I went fuck it, and I just pushed through it because I couldn't stop at that point. There's no way I could stop. I love the Blades of Chaos too, like. It's funny too because like in past God of War games, the Blades of Chaos never got beaten. Like you would try other weapons, but you would always go back to the Blades of Chaos. Even though I had the Blades of Chaos, I still stuck with the axe. Like obviously, I would use the Blades of Chaos between enemies, and sometimes if I ran through both of my runic abilities, I would use them. But I definitely used still the axe, even though I got the Blades of Chaos.
Dude, with the Blades of Chaos, did you get it's a light runic attack for it? Rampage of the Furies. You got that?
Is that the yo-yo one?
Bro, he takes his blades. It's like it lights him on fire. He's like playing double dutch with himself,
the
swinging them
yo-yo
around.
one. That
But then,
shit is dope.
he does a huge smash with both of them, like right at the end of the attack. It's sick.
I like the one where he goes
that
like.
Shit is super OP. Huge damage too. It's like full damage.
I like the one that's like he brings them from the left to right and like puts them to his center.
Oh,
so
and
he's just
smacks
like
it together.
boom. I'm just like, oh.
That one's
that
crazy.
shit,
You gotta really explore the maps to get these unlocks out of the chest. That one's worth it. That one's definitely great.
I don't know what the old, I forgot what it was called, but it's like some of the names are the same from the old God of War.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are. They absolutely are.
I mean, the first Whirlwind one.
Yeah, where he fucking whips that shit. Oh my God, dude. They really outdid themselves with some of this shit. So yeah, I mean, as far as the game is concerned, as far as story, I think it was just it's gonna be very hard to top because now we expect something. And where when I was playing this game, like in the first 5 minutes of the game, just seeing Kratos' face, I'm like, oh my God. Like they're giving you more story in his just facial expressions, not saying anything. Like he generally like when he's cutting down the tree, he looks scared. Like he's like freaking out. And then he's looking in the fire and he's just like, I don't know what to fucking do. And then the son, he doesn't even know how to be a father. He doesn't know how to be a father on top of, he doesn't know how he's going to do what he needs to do with this kid on this journey. And then on top of that, when you see Kratos like go rage mode and like bring it down, like he gets like angry and like brings it down. He's the whole episode, I said episode almost like it's like a movie, but the whole game, he's like trying to control that.
Yeah,
anger.
self-control.
And it's because
now that's his voice actor acting as him. Like the voice actor that is Kratos, it's the same guy from the old God of Wars, but is it actually him doing acting.
I don't think it's the same guy. It's a different guy.
I don't think it is.
Was Christopher?
I'm almost 100% positive
It's a different guy. It's a different voice actor.
I would bet 99%. Can you check that?
Christopher.
I would say
Judge.
I'm like 99% sure it's a different guy. So we're
Whoever
looking at
does
the
the
old God of
voice-
War actor for the new one. Is the new one a different voice actor than the original game?
Who the voice actor is though in this God of War is also the actor for the CG and has all the.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I know
Because
Freya
I seen
is.
the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like not just.
And I think it's Christopher Judge is the actor, I believe. I can't
don't know.
remember.
I don't remember what the original one was, but I don't think.
Christopher. So there's 3 people listed when I click on Google. It says Terrence C. Carson,
It's the old
Christopher
one.
Judge, and Anthony Del Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's got to be one that says which one was the original, which one wasn't. Got to be something on that. Yeah, this game. I was telling you guys last time we were hanging out. Like this game, probably to me has told the best father-son story I've seen in a video game, where he's just trying to teach his son like he's going, like he sees his son going down a bad path and he's like, you can change the path you've chosen. It is not too late.
Christopher Judge is Kratos in PS4, and Terrence Carson was him from from the original.
Okay.
And the first 3.
Got it. It really just shows like a very good father-son story, and it definitely to me really resonated as far as just trying to control your anger. Like not like I know I grew up in a house where you constantly like you did something wrong, I got shit slapped out of you, and like that's not the way you want to raise your kid. And you could see Kratos, like there was so many times where I thought Kratos was going to turn around and fucking beat the shit out of Atreus. Like when Atreus during the game, when he finds out he's a god, he gets like on this fucking high horse.
Exactly.
And he says something about his mother. And like,
See, but maybe if he was punished a little bit with the backhand, maybe he'd have a little more respect.
He said, but mother wasn't a god, boy.
I thought he was gonna like I was holding the controller. I was holding the controller, and I thought he was gonna just turn around and just fucking boom and just hit him into oblivion. And he just is like, she's better than any god. Like it was just the level of him trying to control his anger, teach him not to be so arrogant. Like you're not better than anyone. We're just trying to exist.
Thing, like with all these games, all the PlayStation exclusives that I've played, especially The Last of Us, this game had the most emotion to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't even have a kid, but I felt more emotion in this just because of like even all these new games, Horizon and Uncharted and The Last of Us, all these feelings that you feel, but they're all like newer games.
It's hard that they weren't as grounded, you know what I mean?
We
Like it was
knew
a
what
grounded
Kratos
story.
was like since a long time ago. And like now it's just a completely different page of him trying to be different.
Yeah. And I mean it's self-exploration. Like he doesn't know what he's trying to do. He just like, when you have a kid, you're just trying to make your kid better than you are. That's the goal of everything. Like
he's working on himself, but he's also working on his kid at the same time.
Yeah, I want you to be, he says in that scene, you're a monster. He goes, I know. And the whole time, what does you think he's trying to do? He's trying to teach Atreus not to be a monster, not to be a murderer. Yeah. So when he sees him in the beginning,
he can use his powers for good and not just...
Well, and then even like the end scene where he says something on the lines of like, because Atreus is like, is this what being a god is? Like, do we kill our fathers? And that's, he's like, no, like so you have to be better.
Going back to the mural on the wall that's flapping behind the little curtain there, that could have possibly meant like, is it like Atreus is following in the footsteps of gods and killing? Because it kind of almost looks like he's killing
that,
them.
but I think that was a play. I think that's a play. I think that's like, so if you look at it quick, I think if you look at that, but when you examine it, he's like, he's holding him. He's laying his head back on Atreus's lap. So it looks like Atreus is holding him, which I don't know. If you were killing someone, you'd probably be in front of them, I'd imagine, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think
that's true.
To me, it looked like that initially. And then when I was examining it more, it looked like he was like trying to save him. We'll see going forward.
Is there any more scenes that are in the game that you guys don't know about? No?
I don't think so, no. I mean, there's obviously lore that I haven't explored all the way through, but because there's still, I think I need like 4 more
like lores. After the Thor scene.
Yeah, I haven't seen a cutscene yet.
Nothing.
No, nothing like that.
Like if you beat the game 100%, you get anything else that we don't know of?
Not that I've heard of even. Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
I still have a lot to explore.
Yeah,
honestly.
dude, I have a lot. It's definitely going for a lot. But yeah, like you were saying, like the resonating of Kratos being a father and his son's dynamic. Like even there was a scene where they drink the wine and they like. I've done that with Xander. Like I've literally done the scenes that they've done with that game, in my life, and I've never had. I was telling Kristen, I've never had a game have an emotional impact on me before.
Yeah,
like
even like little things that they added into the game to give like emotion.
That last scene where he was talking about, you finally told a good story. Like I'm
exactly that.
That
and
is so
as you're walking up the mountain to Jotunheim or whatever, like the little things, like you see his mother's handprint, and for me, like as soon as I seen like there's like purple flowers right there and shit like that. Like that's what really like had me.
And when a game resonates with you, like I've beaten it and it's been probably a week or so out, I think about the game. Like it's really.
See, the weird thing is I beat the game, and Sam immediately started she started playing it before I beat it. But now that I beat it, I'm just like watching her play and like helping her play through, and I get to just watch it.
Yeah.
And it's weird watching it over again.
You'll pick up so much stuff too. Like in the beginning of the game, there's so much stuff that we missed out.
I forgot to tell you too. I didn't even get the ending with Boulder for a second. I didn't get it until she played it over again, because when Freya took the arrows and was like, "What are you doing with these?"
Exactly.
I didn't even fucking know that when I beat the game, and that was the only piece. Was what he tied on his fucking string and Boulder punched him in the fucking chest. That's what changed.
Yeah, I know, dude.
That shit. I was like, wait, what? Like this, she was playing the game. Like I had beaten the game already. Yeah. I did not get it, and I'm like, this fucking bitch.
Yeah, she knew.
She took the
She knew. Yeah, she knew it was good. That's why she freaked the fuck out. And you can't blame her. Like, that's her kid. Like, she doesn't want him to die, but she fucking like ruined his life.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting too, because Boulder in the in mythology is like loved.
Yeah,
he's really like very, very, very much so loved. So I've been like watching videos of like,
and that's not even part of the game. But like Kratos as being a good parent and like sort of doing the wrong thing with Atreus, but they're growing closer. It's Freya and her kid, and her being so close to her kid that she wants to be so overprotective that she's gonna literally give her immortality. Like you won't have any feelings. And he ended up hating his mother.
Yeah, wanted to kill her. Yeah, her kid did kill her. I mean, he would have killed her. Yeah. I don't really have much more to add to that. There was so many examples of how the story resonated with me, and I do think that there's games like this that come out that I felt the same way when I played Witcher, where I'm like, it kind of ruined games for me for a little bit, like especially open world games, because like now like side quests have forever been ruined for me. Like I hate fetch quests now. I fucking hate weak ass side quests because of Witcher. And now this game is a game where everything now is after God of War. So a lot of good story, like a lot of good storytelling, a lot of good things that they did, you're gonna compare it to God of War, just like we compared it to Last of Us, just like we compare things to Witcher 3. Like there's games that are benchmarks, and God of War really is a benchmark for video games in general. Like this is a game, like I know Darius, like you didn't have a PlayStation. Like I've always said, like Uncharted, like you have to play the Uncharted games. Like they're fucking amazing. Like this is gonna be one of those games. Like, oh, you never played a PlayStation game before? Oh, you didn't play any exclusives? Play God of War. I haven't played the other ones. Don't fucking worry about it. Just play God of War.
Yeah.
So if we got anything else, for you, Justin?
What armor are you rocking now? You got the mist armor.
Endless Mist, baby. I'm almost level 8.
You're almost level 8.
Almost level 8, yeah. I was almost. It's funny too because like I could upgrade it, and I almost thought of. Yeah, dude. I was in the mist armor for like that mist place like for 3 days. I was just fucking running circles around and getting mad mist. I unlocked every room, tearing the thing. I got every chest. I got everything I needed. Okay. All right, well. Thank you for listening. This is gonna be the ending of our spoiler cast. We may kind of touch on it later on if there is anything that we need to add to this as far as like anything in cutscenes. We're all gonna, I know Bud, you're gonna go for the platinum, right? We gotta get this plat. Can't have a game this good, no plats.
Hopefully.
Oh, hopefully. You're such a
I'm going for it.
Yeah, Justin, that's my man. That's my man, Justin. All right, man. Thank you for listening. Peace out, motherfuckers.